Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Summit 2 by G2A.com. I'm LD of Beyond the Summit, and it's time to start wrapping up these EU qualifiers. We have mYi versus BBC, best of 3, that match taking place right now. And on the other Beyond the Summit stream, we have a match that's a little bit farther along in the brackets. That match will be Coast versus Compass Gaming. Sorry, we'll be casting that. That's over at twitch.tv/Beyond the Summit for all those looking for it. I believe Compass is finishing up another match. Should hopefully be getting started very soon. But yeah, that one's a best of 3. And the winner of Compass Gaming versus Coast will qualify for the Summit 2 Europe, where the rest of the bigger name teams that y'all are probably familiar with have already earned their berths. And well, with that said, we're just about done with qualifier play. China wrapped up today. America wrapped up a few days ago with Coddle Guy providing the coverage. And soon enough, the European qualifiers will conclude, and then it's on to the main group stage for 4 slots of the LAN finals to be earned over. I was going to say given out, but they have to be earned over the course of the qualifiers. So, yeah, with that said, well, let's look at this draft here. We've got a Death Prophet first overall pick. Very, very exciting stuff. And I think the one thing that's interesting so far is we do see a Legion Commander ban in the first phase. I have not had a chance to watch mYi or Balkan Bears too much. For anyone not familiar with Balkan Bears, apparently a team of pup stars from what I've been told. Many of you have heard of W33. Was, for a while at least, the #1 ranked player on the Dota 2 leaderboards in Europe, which would give him the overall highest MMR in the world, since I believe Europe still has the lead there. And in fact, he still is. He's 72-68 solo MMR. So obviously MMR only gives you part of the story, but it will be an interesting... will be kind of an interesting game to see whether or not how much the MMR really plays a role, and if these pup stars can prove that it's not just a number. Actually, on the other side, Lizard is right there with him at 71-05. So it's a game of pup stars. Should be a lot of fun. And well, with that said, the one other interesting non-ban was this Terrorblade, just ignored until the second stage, not picked up by either team. Fairly aggressive pickups for BBC overall. You're looking at a lot of burst damage, good initiation. And nice follow-up for the Chronosphere now with Mystic Flare and Ancient Apparition Ultimate. So do like this draft quite a bit. It's very gank-heavy, though. Their main issue is they just don't take towers. Not at all. Not unless the Void gets very, very big. So we'll see if he can. We'll just have to wait and see. And as for mYi, going for the Witch Doctor early, now into the Death Prophet. They got a decent push. They have a pretty good 5-man. And they do have tower taking potential. Counter initiation versus Chronosphere is pretty good. You've got the Cask. Potentially the Death Prophet silence when you jump in, if you can get it off at the right time. That Chronosphere does take slightly longer to cast now. The other thing is obviously the long range fissure is good to disengage. And if you get a Yules on Death Prophet, then you could just Yules the Void up in the air when he Chronos. So I would say mYi, whenever you're looking at giving away a Faceless Void, ideally you shut him down in lane, but barring that, you really want to have a plan for the initiation, and I would say they've got pretty good plans so far. BBC will remove a Spectre, and this is a pretty scary hero against squishy supports, with Scarith Mage and Ancient Apparition certainly fit the bill. So perhaps just looking to secure late game here, although... to be honest, I'm not sure that Spectre outcarries Death Prophet. We've seen a few games now where it goes late, Spectre gets farmed, but Death Prophet just shreds the illusion, hexes the one illusion, and then just wins the team fight because she's doing a lot more damage to a single target than what the Spectre can dish out. And now our final ban. Templar Assassin actually removed from the pool, so... looking at a solo mid-hero, most likely, and so this TA ban does make sense. I wonder if there's any chance we see that W33 Meepo. Come on, you've got the Ancient Apparition. You've got Chilling Touch for the Meepo. Give it. Give it, please. We want those Mappo skills in the house. Yeah, a man could dream. Honestly, okay. Well, they'll go Lifestealer. So, very strong, aggressive tri-lane potential now, and it does make these lanes interesting. I'm not sure. Maybe we even see a Void go solo mid, and they run like a Centaur off lane and a Lifestealer tri-lane. That would probably make the most sense. Void will farm well against Death Prophet. Even with all the spam, you just pull him regen. The auto attack harass isn't too good. And the Dusa. Lady Dusa in the house. All right. This is a good solution for double melee core. So things get a little spicy now. That's for damn sure. And it will be the... Well, I'm not sure if he's actually a stand-in, but it will be Z-Match playing that, so... Yeah, the Balkan Bears Corleone. Pretty badass name, I have to say, versus mYi. Looking forward to getting this one underway, and away we shall go. Just kidding. We gotta pause. Alright, well, while we wait here for a moment, we'll run through the labs real quickly. We've got Hataba on the Witch Doctor. That puts Z-Match onto the Medusa. Grizine will be handling your Tidehunter. Lizard, the Earthshaker. And Milan, the Death Prophet. So for those who are wondering, the winner of this best of 3 does not qualify for the Summit Europe. They have to play one more match. That final match will be against Lions or Le Johns, Papa Johns, whatever you want to call them. Era's new team. I don't speak Swedish very well, so I apologize for my friend offending any Swedes in the chat. But there's always Dredge's stream if you just can't deal with that. So I believe he is casting the Coast matchup if that actually ends up happening. And well, on the Radiant side, the opposition, we've got Padrino will be playing your Centaur Warrunner, Levy, the Edge Apparition, Solitude handling the Scarth Mage, W33, your Lifestealer. Maybe we even see some dual lanes here, not 100% sure. And we'll put Hockey onto the safe lane, Faceless Void. And with that, what are the lanes going to be for mYi? For now, it's an Earthshaker dual lane. Okay, they are going to send the Medusa into the tri-lane. And actually, I think this is a good time to bring up the patch notes for me, because I remember Medusa got changed. I believe the Mystic Snake is a little bit stronger now, but I just want to make sure, since that is not a hero that I play or see very often. Mana Shield damage absorption rate increased from 50% to 60%, so each mana point gives you a little bit extra value in terms of how much damage it will help you absorb/block. And the Mystic Snake goes out faster, but returns slower, and it steals more mana at the higher levels, but the same at level 1. So you have more incentive to take that early value point in Mana Shield. Although it is a spell that scales well. Level 1 is still decent. I would say I would kind of liken it to Voodoo Restoration. So yeah, overall I think this change to Medusa should encourage maxing Mystic Snake, which we did see players like TC entirely skip, just going for split shot, stats, and Mana Shield, and to take just a value point in the Mana Shield early. So we'll see if that's indeed the case from Zmaj. For now, rune spawning, and it's an illusion and a bounty rune, both going in the way of mYi. Easy win, confirmed. You can't lose if you get both runes off the bat. Everybody knows that. And okay, it will be a dual lane mid. So an Ancient Apparition Lifesteal dual lane, very potent. Obviously, you have the open wounds that can help set up a Cold Freak proc if you want to go for that, and with Chilling Touch damage, you hit extremely hard. So this is something Milan will have to be careful about. I'd say around level 3 is where they can go for the kill. He may even want to go for boots first, potentially over that bottle, and just hope that he gets a lucky regen rune or something to help him stay in lane. As for the other dual lane that BBC is running, it's going to be a Scarth Mage and a Void versus a Tidehunter. Should be decent for the Void. He'll want to get a Quelling Blade here, but the Quelling Blade can largely negate the Anchor Smash minus damage. Not completely. Cast will come through, and Levy, that one base armor, it's really painful to fight up against. The last Crips from just off the mark. Levy salving and retreating up a second hill as Hatawa continues pursuit. Wants to cancel this. Oh, he didn't get into the trees. Levy! Oh no! Casca's coin down in 5. Witch Doctor still got the boots advantage. This will be your first blood. Oh, Levy, what a way to die. What a way to feed. Yeah, that was a good rotation from Hatawa, though. And to be honest, there wasn't any Radiant Vision. They don't have a ward down here bottom, so didn't realize it was coming, and it just is one of the downsides of the Ancient Apparition support in the laning stage. He's just so damn squishy. Auto attack damage isn't that good when Chilling Touch has already been used, and outside of that, you just really can't trade blows effectively. Looking at his base damage, it's 49. You compare that to the Witch Doctor, 56. And obviously with the cast, the initial damage, then you just have to run. Meanwhile, bottom lane, they're trying to chase out Padrino. Got caught by an initial fissure, but not enough to bring him down. But it was damn close. What are we seeing from our Medusa? Yeah, it's the max Mystic Snake. So I think this will be the go-to build. It was still a build you would see sometimes when, on the rare chance the hero was running competitive play, but I definitely remember a few games from TC where he just opted to skip it, so I'm guessing we won't see too many stats and split shot early. And that was more of like a, to be fair, that was more of like a not contest in the lane kind of game. Oh, Levy, again, caught out mid lane, this time by a fissure. Will end up going down, but they look for the trade here on Hatawa. They'll at least get that. Yep, one more chop from W33. Now try to trade with Milan. He's got Rage, but I don't think it will be enough here. He's going to have to Salve suit. Crypt Swarm, it hits him right as the Rage ends. Milan with the outplay, getting a secondary kill. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Grazine heavily harassed, but they can't finish him off with the Anchor Smash there. Hockey doesn't quite have the damage for it. So when it's all said and done, as you would expect, it's quite a swing in favor of mYi. Are they going back in? Thinking about it. Yeah, at this point the H apparition's food. And the one issue is, when you run the H apparition mid, it's not like other dual lanes mid. It doesn't really work. Like, obviously, Lich, you just get the bonus experience. That's fine. When you're running your Tiny Wisp, you can stack the jungle, catch up that way. That's really effective. And some heroes use runes particularly well. H apparition does none of these things. So running him as a dual lane mid, it's purely about winning that 2v1 matchup. And unfortunately, mYi have just... They've converted it into a 2v2, a 3v2. It's not that advantaged fight that BBC were looking for, and haven't made any adjustments since then. So we look at their CS now to see how is the other dual lane doing, and it's not going too well, to be honest. They are keeping the Tidehunter down, but he's getting full level progression, and Hockey is still shut down quite a bit in farm. As they do manage to fight a kill on the mid lane on Death Prophet. Fissure was not available, didn't have the mana for it. That will end up costing his life, and they're also giving away free farm to what's become a solo offlane Medusa. Normally a hero that, I wouldn't say struggles in the laning stage, but is fairly clunky and a bit vulnerable. But at this point, getting the early point in Mana Shield, we'll get some stats items soon, and that should equalize things quite a bit in terms of the upcoming fights. Haystorm picked up by Hatawa. He's heading towards top lane, and he's running away. Oh no, he's going on to Solitude. Alright, here we go. There is a single Arcane Bolt here, but they'll need a bit more damage to get this kill. Hockey now left to his own devices. Forced the time walk out. A lot of space created here by Hatawa, setting up the kills mid lane, now securing the Haster in top, and just in general proving to be a thorn in their side. Oh man, look at that damage. Padrino desperately needs these Tranquil Boots to fly out. Yeah, it's not all bad for BBC. They are getting good farm on the Leicester, and the Void is catching up a bit to the Medusa. So, considering that, it's not too shabby, but they're also giving away a lot of farm to the Death Prophet, and they're letting a Medusa in the offlane free farm. Most importantly, support levels are actually okay thanks to the dual lanes. There has been a lot of roaming from mYi, and I guess the X factor here is your Tidehunter Ravage at this point. Already level 5, they will have it soon. Whereas you look at the Void, only level 4. Didn't really have a solo lane for too long. But yeah, let's kind of examine the role of Medusa in this game. So, the idea I'm guessing is, when you jump in with Chronosphere, or Blink Initiation from the Centaur, Medusa just ults, right? And these heroes pretty much have to face you to do damage. Void has to, Centaur to some extent kind of has to. Not as much because he can just Blink, Stomp, Double Edge, and very quickly turn away. And obviously Lifestealer has to. So, through that, you're going to have to deal with... Whenever you Chrono, if you don't catch Medusa before she Stone Gazes, then the Chrono's just not going to work. And even if you do catch her, but she's already used it, it's still not going to work. Because you're just going to get either disabled or you run away. In either case, it's just not very effective. The one thing they'll still have to work with is the nuke damage. So that's where getting the Solitude's ultimate, Mystic Flare, will be very important. And the H Apparition ult as well. With those two, oh, they're going to go in top lane. Onto Grazine, they'll jump, and they get the Centaur Stampede off initially. Anchor Smash not sufficient, delaying that crucial Tidehunter Ravage. Meanwhile mid, we're looking on to go. Milan forced to TP out. Will he get out before the Cold Feet procs? It's close, but he barely does. And only TP'd back to the tower. Very cute. Very efficient play from him. He still had those bottle charges. But it does show you what a nuisance this dual lane is. So I do like this Medusa conceptually. I think it's really going to pose problems for the Void and the Lifestealer. And if you get like BKBs or just a lot of magic damage preventing items, things like a pipe would be pretty nice. A mech can help negate that. Then BBC really struggle for damage at that point. Their right click just won't be effective this game. So Stone Gaze has been leveled up, and it will be a Lincoln Sphere build for the Medusa. Pretty standard stuff. Yeah, Rate of Akila now complete. It'll be Lincoln Sphere. Then we generally see something like a Manta style, Butterfly, maybe a Drums mixed in here if she wants some stats, but going for the early rate of health, well, it's a nice item on Medusa. You constantly get mana from the Mystic Snake and the Rate of Akila, and on top of that, now you've got full HP in lane. So, left alone, she will free farm. 46 CS, Lifestealer leading, and thanks to that earlier kill, sending out 2-1, but yeah, I'm still wondering how these fights are going to go when the laning stage breaks down, and a lot of it will come down to other initiators. I mentioned the Void Chronosphere not being very effective, but that's of course assuming that the Medusa isn't just completely caught out, and that's where the Centaur Blink can come in handy. There's some instant initiation available. Her ultimate is a pretty damn low cooldown though. 90 seconds. It should be up every time that they want to fight. Even more frequently than the Chronosphere. And they'll rotate towards mid now. Cast thrown out by Hatawa. Stay there, Iceman. And now the Stampede and jump on Milan mid lane. They don't have a Mystic Flare available, but they don't need it either. They get to kill Milan. The Fissure thrown out, but it was while W33 was still raged, so he doesn't get stunned. Just slightly repositioned to the left and will easily survive that one. And good news for BBC. That's a very fast Mask of Madness on the Void. But can't really kill the Tidehunter solo, I don't think. He needs a +1. Even just like a single Arcane Bolt might be enough. Here comes your Chrono. I think. No Chrono. Okay, no Chrono. They might just want to wait for Mystic Flare to play this one safe. Yeah, BBC about to get the ultimates online now. Mystic Flare coming soon. They have their Inch Apparitional, and this would be the time to jump on top lane. Expect to see that ult flying out very soon. Bottom lane, Centaur's no Stampede, so it's a more difficult kill for them. And Tidehunter kind of knows it. You see Grazine just hiding around the corner. Very reluctant to show himself in lane. He's actually barely visible here because it's daytime, and they're going to throw out the ult, but he's already ready. Chronosphere's there. H Apparition ult won't connect at all. Doesn't even get the debuff on him. And without that, I don't think they get this kill. In fact, they might turn against him. Silence is now thrown out, and they will have to back. Not the... Very good position by Grazine more than anything. Not the easiest jump. Like, you could wait a second or two longer, try until the Void's closer to Chronoing, but... Yeah, that's also just down to Grazine being ready, and the call was made mid instantly, it looked like. As soon as that H Apparition ult flew out. He was already retreating. Great teamwork. Yeah, would have helped to have those treads as well for Hockey. He has not gone for the 4 points in time lock by level 7, so it does hurt your damage output a little bit. Yeah, I think the main thing is missing the H Apparition ult and yeah, not having Mystic Flare. They'll want to get that soon. And the tower bottom will go down. Goes the way of Zimaj. W33 will come in. Where's that Medusa ultimate? Didn't use it. Now she's out of mana, actually. Will stick up, and the mana shield was turned on at the wrong time, so she can't use the ult. But Ravage is here. It's dodged by a nice rage, and W33 with the big plays just keeps on going. Oh, man, a Ravage for not so far. They're going to try and get some kills, though. Milan on the chase. He may be able to bring down Solitude. Great here, 2-hero Fissure. Balkan Bears. Or, I keep calling W33 Balkan Bears. Damn it. Why do you got to have that at the end of your name? Oh, he ends up rage dodging that one. Still, they're chasing, though. They're looking for another nuke. And the Centaur will scare them away. Man. So, yeah, definitely something to keep in mind when you're playing Medusa. Be careful about leaving the mana shield on, because sometimes it does leave you without the ability to use another Mystic Stake, without the ability to use Stone Gaze. Can be very costly. In that case, it ended up working out alright. But I think it would have brought more to the table than just blocking some of that incoming damage. As soon as she pops, that Lifesteal pretty much just has to turn around and run. That was also good timing for my Insanity. They knew that the Chronosphere was down, so if you're ever going to go for a jump in, that's your ideal time to do it. So they take the tier 1 bottom lane. Tower went the way of the Medusa, so she's getting quite farmed as a Fissure comes through mid. W33 has been on point with these rage dodges, and we'll have a quick disconnect here from our Death Prophet. Milan gonna regroup a bit. Is building towards the Yule Scepter. Very nice item against the Void. You can just, as soon as he Chronos, just Yules him instantly. You can also Yules dodge the Chrono, meaning Not the whole duration, but a good 2.5 seconds of it. So this will be a... It's always a nice item on Death Prophet just to cancel TPs, but I think more so this game, it's a very important one to deal with that initiation. And with that, guys, just a quick reminder that we will have Compass Gaming versus Coast, best of 3, headed your way soon. I think that match is about to start. I'm just checking Twitter now, and unfortunately, it looks like they had to forfeit in Synergy League. They had to make a choice between the 2 tournaments, and oh, sorry. I'm just also reading some messages about my microphone. Yeah, I'm really not sure what the issue is. It's using the correct one. Set as default device. Oh yeah, so that match, anyway, that will be starting soon. Twitch.tv/Beyond the Summit for Compass Gaming versus Coast. That's a play-in match, so winner of that qualifies for the main stage, and I have to say both teams have looked very impressive. Compass Gaming, they've kind of become like a mini Power Rangers in terms of slaying some of these big-name teams, and Coast did very well in TI4 qualifiers and nearly made it to the big dance and have looked good since then. So just a solid all-around team, really. Like, you look at some of the other Tier 2 teams, or what most would call the Tier 2 teams, and they often seem very fluky. Like, they'll have a great performance one game, they obviously have the mechanics, but then the next game they just make careless mistakes that you wouldn't expect out of them. And, well, that's part of what separates them, but I think Coast is a little bit closer to that boundary where they can legitimately be a consistent contender. Yeah, I'm going to try restarting my Dota 2 real quickly, by the way, just since we have this quick pause, and I want to see if I can fix the audio issues. Not really sure what's causing them. All right, and yep, we do have an audio. Yeah, let me see if this helps. All right, come on, Disruptor, get me in there. We're still paused. All right, I guess that's a good thing in this case. Generally not a big fan, but... So, 11 minutes in, we could take a look at our graphs here. It's a 1,000 gold lead for mYi, and experience-wise, 1,000 in favor of the Balkan Bears. So pretty much dead even, no surprises there. It's been a back-and-forth game. I still really like the matchups here for mYi, and I think for BBC... They're much more reliant on getting these ultimates on top of Chronosphere. Like, they really can't be counting on their right-click damage against not just the Medusa that I mentioned, but there's so much else in terms of counter initiation. You've got your Cask, your Death Ward to zone heroes out, Ravage, Anchor Smash, the Yule Scepter, the Death Prophet, which will soon be ready, Voidstone's already picked up on the Courier, and Fissure. Their entire lineup is designed to punish this initiation. Sure, Lifestealer can rage in, and that will block some of the spells, but it's not going to help you against all of them. In general, we do see Tidehunter match up very well against that hero. Courier. No follow-up for this. Oh, sorry, that was not the Death Prophet Voidstone. Okay, so she's a bit farther off the Yules. That was the Medusa. But we're back underway. For those who do have the Dota TV ticket, let me know if it's any better. Hopefully the issues we were having earlier are resolved. It said it was using the correct microphone, but I'm wondering if maybe it was using my webcam by mistake. Which could have been causing some of the problems. So, I tried to restart it anyway. Let me know if it's fixed. And if not, just tweet at me and I'll continue looking into it. So, well, we're back into it now. Creeps pushing in top lane. Chronosphere's online. Should be looking for a Balkan Bears reset fairly soon. Hockey and Solitude grouping up. Got their Ancient Apparition ult ready. There's really no reason not to dive except fear of that Medusa ult. Stone Gaze too strong. And they've left this bottom lane completely empty right now. So in that respect, I would definitely have to give the edge here to BBC. Losing their tier 1 early, sure, but they'll get a lot more off the map if this lane is just left open. And now they go in. Stampede to start. Milan caught up by this. One more right click, 2 more. We'll chunk him down and secure that kill. Now W33 on the way out has nothing to infest into. So this goes on to tower, but gets fissured. Look at it go! Oh, man. Witch Doctor ult as well. They committed a lot. They were thinking about a Chronosphere, but the Void knew that Hatawa would be ready with that cask, and just a single bounce enough to discourage any future aggression. Meanwhile, Z-Match pushing in the top lane. Up to 6k net worth here on the Medusa. So, a very slow hero to truly come online. Oh my goodness, these casks! Solitude's almost dying to creeps. Oh, that hit nothing but him, it looked like. Yeah, there's no global abilities here. No Ancient Apparition on the enemy team, so he'll be fine. But they've now picked up their Centaur Blink, and this is going to be Q to go. But look for the Medusa top lane with the level 3 Mana Shield. Won't be the easiest kill, but also doesn't have too much in terms of HP. So still has to be careful. You're always going to take... Oh, and they have an Infest Bomb. Yeah, this is definitely enough to kill her if they get off the Stomp Double Edge. But once that debuff wears off, maybe not the case. I'm almost thinking they'll need an Ancient Apparition ult, even with this Infest. But let's find out. Let's test just how strong Mana Shield is. Or, no, let's not. No dire vision of that. Just suspicions about that rotation. But Yule Scepter... Oh, are they going in now? Yeah, they're going in now. Stop. Double Edge. Follow up. But it's just not enough. Yeah, they really need the Ancient Apparition ult. Medusa will be forced to Stone Gaze, but... It's a 90-second cooldown. It's really not a big deal to use this spell. You're trading a 90-second cooldown on that for a 90-second cooldown on Stampede. So, an easy disengage and nothing really... it did cost them TPs, to be fair. But Leicester is also not farming during that time, which you have to keep in mind. And with that considered, and they also reveal the Blink, I would call that a win for my Insanity. Straight up. And they will try to get more off the map in other ways. So not farming that bottom lane still, but they can begin farming the Ancients here for Tidehunter. Level 4 Anchor Smash. Pretty damn strong. It's a slow and steady siege here for W33 in the middle lane. Picks up the Gloves of Haste, most likely the Armlet. I don't really see a great need for a Maelstrom Rush this game. And he'll be forced to rage just to deal with this Mystic Snake constantly stealing your mana. Very frustrating for a low mana hero like the Lifestealer is. Solitude walks up a hill, runs into an angry Milan. Fissure will come through. We'll end up going down to an additional Cryptsworn. While that was happening, they lost their Tidehunter though, and that's the bigger kill. The Stomp Double Edge combo was used. They followed it up with an Ice Blast and didn't even need the Lifestealer Infested. Didn't even need the Void who's off farming the top lane. And that will pretty much be the game plan for BBC. The Balkan Bears will just go around the map with one of their 3 initiators. Your Lifestealer or your Centaur Void is the 2 premier ones. And just followed up with Mystic Flare, Ancient Apparition, Ice Blast. That's for my Insanity. Either going to have to 5-man. They can't go for those same kind of trades because they don't have the right heroes for it. Your Earthshaker is okay for it, but doesn't have enough lockdown to kill off these cores on his own. And Ravage is just too long of a cooldown. So you can't... Oh, we'll just do a Ravage Smoke gank and trade for a Chronosphere gank or a Stampede gank. It just doesn't work like that. The trades won't be sufficient. So they're going to have to make up for it either by never dying, which easier said than done against this lineup. You'll really want good lane wards for that. TP's always ready on your supports. And the good news is they do have their tier 1s up, which certainly helps. But they smoked. I believe it was spotted out by this lane ward of mYi. Just placed down. So like I was mentioning, this is one of the ideal tools to deal with this type of lineup. Just make sure that they never get the jump on you. They'll still try, but there's an entire squad in position. Earthshaker parked behind the Medusa. It's really... They're poised to turn this. If they go in, and they are going in, but they found 2 anyway. Hatawa and Lizard, well, so much for turning it. Didn't end up working too well there, that's for damn sure. W33 charging in, focusing on Lizard, but... Oh, these ghosts, too strong. He'll end up just melting to that. Didn't even have to use a Ravage. It's funny, because it looked like the ambush wasn't going to work, and then it ended up equalizing reasonably well, getting the Lifestealer kill there. Which was an avoidable death. He did not have to go in, but W33 got a little cocky, underestimated the power of the ghosts, and pays with his life. And now they fed a double kill to Milan. He gets big. Your Centaur will back off, and the push begins in earnest mid lane. My Insanity already 1 tower up, looking to make it 2. Will there be a trade available top lane? No, nothing doing there. That tower's still healthy. There's still Glyph online. Last hit will go the way of the Tide. That gives him his Blink if he wants it. They don't have a mech carrier, though, outside of him, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him just skip it and go straight mech, or maybe even pipe to do with the Ancient Apparition and the Scarith Mage. Yeah, it is a tough lifestealer game after the laning stage. He's great against these supports, really dominates Witch Doctor and Earthshaker, I would say in general, but not very good at all against their cores. Anchor Smash ruins him. Ravage isn't that great against him, obviously, but normally Tide will live long enough to wait out the Rage and then Ravage, so that is, in that sense, still an issue. And your Yules and your Stone Gaze, very, very... They neuter Lifestealer, basically. He just really struggles to get into the fights. Meanwhile, faces Void trying to hold the line in the top lane, and it'll be Milan pushing in a bit. Looking for this tier 1 tower, but there's a Glyph ready for the Radiant side. No Exorcism up, but they park the whole squad behind him, bringing in reinforcements. Just not the Medusa, who's off farming the middle lane. Glyph was used at the right time. Meanwhile, mid, Zimaj and W33 duking out. H-Apparition Ice Blast will come in. Are they going to defend this? Void's looking. Chronosphere, leap in, could go here. Padrino slows one. He tries to go for the Death Prophet as well, but the Ravage is there. Too bad Hockey just time walked over it. He's going to dodge away. The other's not so lucky. Just melted by the Witch Doctor. Levy also falling. Hockey will kill off that Death Prophet as the trade. Run, Iceman. Retreat. Retreat. Live to fight another day. Hatawa, not so lucky. Centaur on the case. Void is here as well. The club. They'll give him the club and the axe. Actually, the mace in this case. And they'll bring him down as well. So they end up losing their Death Prophet in the end. Yeah, let's do a full fight recap. It's a 3-for-1 in the end. So BBC definitely coming out worse there. But that was some Matrix shit from Hockey. Just time walking over the Ravage. Right as the building's about to explode, he just leaps into the next dimension. For those who are saying my mic isn't working in Dota TV, as you can see from this white little box, it is transmitting. Sometimes this is an issue when a caster reconnects, so what you should do is switch broadcaster slots. Switch to a different broadcaster, then switch back to mine. If that doesn't work, try reconnecting to Dota TV, but when that white box is there, it does mean I am transmitting, so I think it's just a known Dota TV glitch. It seems to happen from time to time. Void will try to TP out. Hockey, though, can't do it. Doesn't have enough stick charges. They'll Echo Slam right as the Yules comes out. Awkward chain stun, to say the least, or lack thereof, but a kill's a kill. It's still good enough in the end. But yeah, Skirby, give that a shot and let me know if it fixes things. Meanwhile, mid lane, W33 will kill off the tower. He runs, perhaps the wrong direction though, right into the Medusa, who had a Stone Gaze. I think could have given it a shot. Rage was cooling down. So therefore could have also thrown out a Mystic Snake earlier, but there's the Armlet toggle to worry about, and that makes life a bit trickier. But yeah, between your Stone Gaze, which affects magic immune units, as you can just use the ult, even if Lifestealer is Rage, and certainly you could throw out a Mystic Snake on him as he's retreating. You still get that initial slow, regardless. Even if you don't get the 2 seconds, but then again, it is a phase Drum's Lifestealer, so he's pretty mobile. They'll work on the Roshan now. Ice Blast coming in. They're moving into position. Tidehunter's at the ready, though. No Ravage, but I'm not sure if they wrote the exact time down. And they also don't have Stampede. Unfortunately, they backed off, and this will give time for like Stampede to cool down. Everything's going to be ready to go, and the entire lineup of BBC will descend on the pit in moments. They're down by 2,000 gold, as well as 1,500 experience, but they're confident to jump in. They Chrono, only catching out Earthshaker, and immediately the Stone Gaze comes through. Then the Ravage to fly, catching out the Centaur with the Lifestealer packed inside of him. Now we'll pop out Mystic Flare into Z-Match. It's not enough, it seems. They're just fighting their way through this. Into the Witch Doctor ult they go. Still looking at it go, and just not giving a hoot, really. Hatawa now trapped out, and he'll end up going down as well. 3 heroes fall. Grazine almost shattering to the debuff, but not quite enough to bring him down. And now they want to go back into the pit. A little experience for W33. Can Armlet toggle to try and take down this Roshan? They tried to fight again. The Scarith Mage kills off the Tidehunter. Meanwhile, drops for the Death Prophet, but it's just the Roche that will be the objective here. Throwing out a nuke. Oh, Milan. You're in trouble now, my friend. Stops there to greet him. The Yule Scepter wasn't used at the right time, and it will end up being 4 heroes dead. And Earthshaker, I believe, was the first one to fall. Yeah, so it's a full 5-man wipe. BBC doing it in style. They did not take the Roshan, though. They'll throw an Ice Blast back to the enemy fountain for good measure. But when you've wiped them, I'm pretty sure there's not going to be anyone to kill with this. Does he have his Ags yet? No, no Ags. I mean, I can try reconnecting. It says I'm transmitting, so I don't know what to tell you guys. Like, it's moving. It's moving there. It's got the white box in game. But I guess I'll try to reconnect since everyone seems to still be complaining. Although now as I do that, apparently some people are saying that the fix does in fact work. So I apologize for those who don't have the ticket. Trying to keep everyone happy here. Can't we all just get along? Well, mYi, they'll take the Roshan here. There's a Chronosphere at the ready. Are they going to get it off in time? The Medusa ultimate comes out. That's going to slow down Hockey and just gets murdered by the ghosts. Casper ain't your friend no longer. And now we see Milan moving forward. Chasing towards Petrino, but he's going to turn, looking for the stop. No, just a midget blink. And that's not good enough, Petrino. You've potentially got your Lifestealer killed here as well. We'll have to pop out soon. Will do so. Jumps back in onto Tawa. Perhaps it's a trap. They'll lose the Witch Doctor. Looking for more, but the Medusa's too tanky, and the chase just continues. And you're starting to see where the Lifesteal and Void really struggle against these heroes. Oh, Scarlet Mage. Caught out on an island. We'll end up getting the Tidehunter, but the trade's a triple kill to the enemy Death Prophet. And that's without Exorcism for a good half of the fight. Yeah, this is where BBC really start to struggle. Is once burst damage simply isn't good enough anymore. When you can't just kill someone during a Chronosphere or a Rage. Now you've got an Aegis to worry about as well. That's where they lose the fights. They don't dish out nearly the amount of sustained damage that a Death Prophet Exorcism does, that a Medusa with Split Shot Max does. Nearly there, now level 3. It's... For those who think that you see like a Void, Lifestealer, HF Rich, you're like, oh man, this is a great late game lineup. It's a good late game lineup to be sure, but I really think mYi have them beat with this. You can never count out a Void, and there will be an Ancient Apparition Eggs very soon. Still, I feel if the fights go the way mYi want them to, they will have the upper hand. And they're also close to an eggs of their own. The Witch Doctor eggs is nearly out. I honestly think this may end up being the bigger one than the Ancient Apparition. We'll have to test that hypothesis soon. Really excited for this next clash, though. We've seen one good clash already with all the ultimates up, and we'll go for another soon. Milan coming in with the Yules. Yep, no Centaur Blake. Does have a Stampede at the ready. We'll pop it immediately. Silence wasn't quite timed right, but still keeps on chasing. Really committing this one. They even used the slow... Oh, Hockey time walks in, but he doesn't have mana for his ultimate. Now he's got to run. Does turn in time, so won't be turned into stone. Still, stunned up, and may end up going down here. Where's the backtracks? It's only level 2. It's not good enough. The Void will fall. They may get the trade, though. Looking for 2 heroes. They'll find the Death Prophet, the Witch Doctor Melty as well, but still Medusa standing fairly strong with the ultimate wasted. Much does have to retreat. Well, on the other side of the engagement, the Earthshaker who came in, jukes away from Mystic Flare. I'm not sure if that's good enough either, though. Stop from the Centaur, securing that kill. While back to the original engagement, they'll pop the Aegis. Oh, W33 looking to make this a 3-2-2 moment for mYi as they overextend. With the Ancient Apparition Ice Blast coming through again, they'll just keep on pounding into Zmaj, and he will end up falling. Goes the way of the Lifestealer. Suddenly, it's a complete... Basically a complete wipe the other direction. 4 heroes dead out of 5. And a massive swing in momentum. Graph going straight up for BBC now. It's the curse of the Aegis. It makes you overconfident. And pride comes before the fall. I mean, the key there, obviously, is they just lost Death Prophet right away. And they wasted the Medusa ultimate. You really want to have that ult ready when the Lifesteal and Void are both trying to right-click you. Like, during the Rage, in particular, and during the Chronosphere as well. Which wasn't available in that fight due to mana issues for the right moment, but yeah, with it misused and then Exorcism never popped, it's too much burst damage. I guess we're not at that stage yet. If mYi screw up their initiation, they're not necessarily tanky enough to live through the jump, but it's going to be an arms race to see if they could just tank up enough to live through it, or maybe if you hear like Witch Doctor's there with his eggs ready to punish the jumps, then they can turn this one still. The other thing was W33 picked up some big items right before that. I know he had the Skull Basher. I'm not sure if he'd picked up the Hyperstone before the fight, but even with just the Basher, that makes a big difference in terms of your burst damage. Aghanims number 1 are now online. And this is where things get interesting. We want to do an HP check at this point. Earthshaker sitting at 1000 HP. Witch Doctor at 1280, so he's fairly healthy. And everyone else should be higher. Yeah. So okay. Ancient Apparition Aghanims. Let's do some quick math here. 350 initial damage plus 20 damage a second for what is it? 17 seconds. That's another 340 damage before reduction. So you're looking at 690 damage before reduction. So you're probably looking at like 550-ish, maybe a little bit less, like 500. Something in the neighborhood of 500 damage after reduction if you hit this ultimate. Obviously, if there's an Ice Vortex there, it'll hit harder. So to make the Earthshaker shatter, you basically just need to hit him with the ult and a double edge, and I think that should be enough to do it. He's definitely squishy now. And obviously something like a Chronosphere. That will make life difficult. But mYi lost a lot of momentum with that earlier fight. Not just losing their Aegis, but they want to be pushing. They want to take this Death Prophet ultimate, walk down mid, know that if the Void ever jumps them, they have great disengage and counter initiation, and force fights. Not to say they can't go late, but they're supposed to be very strong right now with that Aegis, and opportunity lost for them. It's a sad day for my Insanity fans everywhere, folks. Of course, the one thing about using the Ancient Apparition ultimate to try to go for pickoffs like that is you do basically telegraph, hey guys, we've got a ward. We've got a ward of this area. So immediately gets dewarded as a result. And they'll smoke now in the river, actually. Levy just wants to walk into the Roshan pit and do a bit of... not 100% sure what... Oh, he wanted to drop a ward. Okay. Yeah, on his Emods, they Geo bottom lane, though. With the Ancient Apparition ultimate flying forth, this should be enough damage. No chance in hell. Man, that is some burst. They didn't even have to use the Mystic Flare, and it might be a game where Medusa has to consider a BKB at some point. It's generally not what you want to build on this hero. Usually you want to mass stats, get things like your Butterfly, your Manta Style, which is about to be completed, and potentially a Satanic later on, but honestly, she might just have to bite the bullet and go for BKB, because against the Mystic Flare and Apparition ult, it seems like it's too much burst. I thought, to be fair, she was way out on her own, and they used everything on her except for Mystic Flare, but yeah, that hurt. Trino getting aggressive now, lunges out, finds Milan with the initial stomp double-edge combination. Oh, these catch-outs are too big. Death Prophet needs to buy back. They've just blown Ravage. They can't. Oh, it's a Ravage for basically nada. Now they'll try to run away. W33 trying to punish Grazine here. We'll chop him down and looks for more. Hatawa also on the run. That's a bash. That's a kill. And it might be more still. Lizard. W33. Not even needed for that one. Another wipe for BBZ. BBZ, Jesus. I mean BBC. The Balkan Bears in the house. I'll take down the tower top. That was without a Chronosphere, mind you. All of that without a Chronosphere. A full team wipe without the enemy Void even involved. It's just the catch-outs they've had are too damn good. As Hockey will TP out in the tree line. Zmaj unable to track him down. Letting the Centaur just literally walk up to your Death Prophet through fog and get a stomp off, that is incredibly costly. And once that initial stun's there, the fight doesn't go their way. But some of these are, if you're just a bit quicker on the reaction, or if you've got better wards up, these are ganks that you can potentially avoid. And I still feel if they don't get caught out, we could see one of those fights like in the Roshan pit earlier, but that might not be true for much longer. Now they're down 10,000 gold, 50,000 experience. The items are piling up for BBC. And they'll go in again. Mid lane 2, hero stop! It's good. Okay, maybe it's too late. Maybe they've lost too much momentum at this point. Abandon all hope, ye who enter here. For there's nothing but death and destruction for my Insanity. And now the push onto the mid lane. Kadrina, Hockey, and W33 team up, take down the tower mid, and they'll push through for more. Going for the high ground attempt now. This team of pub stars looking like a well-oiled killing machine, and now chronoing. Zmaj tried to get cute and Manta dodge, but you can't Manta dodge that chrono. It's waiting for you when you come back down to earth. Stop, double edge, jams it in, bash. Easy kill on the Witch Doctor too. Anchor Smash might turn this one around a little bit. Tidehunter rejoining the fray. Will get 2 kills for his team. Your Void and your Scarlet going down. Still, again, they've managed to kill off the Medusa, the Death Prophet dying earlier, and they're just giving up too much. It's just not good enough. If they were giving up supports for these trades, it would be okay, but when you're just throwing multiple cores' lives away, that's no recipe for a comeback. Even in this patch. And I say that, but there's really not too much of a comeback mechanic anymore. Yeah. It's more just an ode to the old 6.82 than anything. They'll look for the jump in here, bottom lane. Levy's ultimate up in 3 seconds. 2 seconds. 1 second. And let it go. Straight into Grazine, and now the Lifestealer charges in. Oh, he blinked out in time. Quick reactions there from Grazine. A much-needed retreat as well, and just not a kill they could afford to be giving up. They will finally go back for a pipe. As the servers have a slight hiccup. Oh, no. Oh, man. Is this the same shebang as yesterday? The Coddle Guy curse is real. And it's here even when he's not casting now. We need to get this asshole out of our house. Send him packing back to New York. Just kidding. I guess it was just me. I mean, to be fair, my stream was fine, so it couldn't have been... Oh no, it wasn't fine. What, is it fine? Oh, looks like it dropped or restarted, so we must have had a hiccup on our ends. Do apologize for that. Alright, not a Volvo please moment then. Definitely a BTS please. But it seems like everything is streaming stably. Yeah, okay. Frames and code... Oh no, not again. Alright, maybe we're not stable here. I am going to try switching ingest servers now, for anyone if you can hear me. Alright, hopefully we're back, guys. Oh, computer, please? It's like, I'm like having a fight with my mouse. What is going on? Oh my god. BBC on the retreat. Oh, it's like literally not letting me pan properly. Holy crap, what the hell is wrong? Alright, we're trying to watch this fight anyway. Blanket from Grazine to start it off, and they will manage to bring down the Scarlet Mage, so a pretty good exchange there for mYi. Chronosphere was used earlier. Centaur Stampede was used, and they're pushing it towards the high ground. All of a sudden, the turn comes now, and now I'm disconnected again. You gotta be kidding me. And this time my stream is not dropping, so I think this is actually the server. Earlier I was dropping frames, but it seems this time is not me, so I really don't know what's going on. Yeah! I just want to cast some Dota. It's not enough to have the server issues either. Like, it just was scrolling to the right constantly when the game loaded. And I was like, I had to like hold the left scroll key and then use my mouse, my smooth drag to get it to move to the left. I was like fighting to swim upstream or something. The game just did not want to cooperate. I guess it must be a routing issue to the server. Just judging by the fact that now the stream's fine. But the servers is not. Well, at least I assume it's fine. Let me know if you can hear me in 2 minutes, and we'll try and get to the bottom of this one, folks. Oh god. I hope at least the players are able to play. I'm gonna try one more time. If it still doesn't work, I will try to switch over to Dota TV. So we can at least get some kind of coverage. Ba 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 ba. Okay, well, we're having a fight mid lane. It looks like, and now it's scrolling only to the right. What is wrong with my Dota? Oh, Dota, please, Dota, have mercy! Stop! Disconnection. Alright, I'm gonna try watching through Dota TV. I don't know what's going on. I am sorry to everyone who bought a ticket. I just simply... Oh, and I can't leave? Really? Really, Dota? Really, Dota? Trapped in this game? Now I've lost connection to Steam. Oh my goodness, you have to be joking. This can't be serious. This is not real life. This is not actually happening. It's all a bad dream, LD. And it's still telling me that I'm streaming, but it does not seem to be working. So, alright, I guess we're trying another server again. Meanwhile, mid lane, we will have a jump in, and what is with this stupid scrolling issue? Oh my goodness. Padrino caught out now, taking some damage. Fisher will come through. They'll blink forward with the Tidehunter, trying to bring him down as W33 goes to work, just mashes down Milan in a matter of seconds with that Abyssal Blade. Oh my goodness, he hits like a truck, not looking for a bit more damage. They don't manage to get the kill, chasing on the Z-Mod. Open once was there, but he will mant out of it, retreating as the Chronosphere follows up, and, well, they end up getting some kills, so... Jumping forward once more, stamp, double-edged combination, but the Ravage was waiting for them. Kill off almost everyone, but not W33, who's too damn tanky at this point and will end up going down. What the fuck is wrong with this friggin' mouse? I gotta restart Dota 2. This is just... What? Really? Alright, I'm back, I think. Yeah, so my Dota will, like, not stop scrolling randomly. First it was to the left, now it's to the right. If anyone has heard of this issue or knows how to resolve it, please let me know, because I have never experienced this. Actually, I used to a very long time ago. If you, like, moved your mouse while the... No, I don't want to watch the compendium. If you moved your mouse while a fight... Or no, while the game was loading, sometimes it would do that, but I forget what game that was. It was not Dota, though. I've never had that issue with Dota. Alright. I have a working mouse again. Hooray! It's the simple things in life. Oh, alright, let's try to recap. It's about a 17,500 gold lead right now, favoring BBC, and, well, there will be a Chronosphere mid lane. Catch out Z-Mach, but forced to retreat, get caught by a cask. So, they had a big team fight win earlier. We caught a glimpse of it, I think, on the local recording. I don't think I got to stream it, because XSplit was being... Or actually, Twitch/XSplit were both having a lot of fun with us, and... Well, they did lose Rax. I guess that's the main thing to keep in mind now is they're down a line of Rax, still healthy on the Radiant side, so quickly recomposing ourselves. It's also a huge experience, as you might expect. Everything looking good for BBC now overall, and well, we're going towards that late game Medusa stage. Frustrating. Have you tried turning it off and on again? Shut up! No, I actually had one of those calls with our ISP for a very long time. 2 hours on the phone, and then they're like, oh yeah, by the way, we just found out that we've been doing scheduled maintenance here, Arrow. It'll be back up in about 8 hours. If it's scheduled, how do you not tell anyone? Who does that? It's either... Don't call it scheduled maintenance if you're not informing people of the schedule. That's the whole point of scheduling the maintenance, is so that people know. What the hell, man? Oh, God. Yeah, that was infuriating. Dota just has, like, everything just has a life of its own. I think it's just the Borg mind slowly taking over. Dota 2 is getting control of my mouse and just moving it around randomly for no apparent reason. Twitch is just ejecting me, forcing me to switch ingest servers that ejected me from those. Then the internet maybe was dropping for a moment, although I'm not really 100% sure about that, because it seemed like websites were loading okay. But yeah, it's just a mess here, man. It's just a friggin' mess. Give us a break, please. Alright, they'll jump in now on W33, who's building towards the Desolator. Look at how quickly he can chop Milan. Isn't able to finish him off, though. They'll be forced to retreat now. W33 slowed down a bit by that Rod of Atos as they look to initiate. Manta's there, but it'll be a deep deployment from Padrino to try and get out safely. Call the evac crew in. Stampede not ready for 40 seconds, though. This is only buying time for the lifesteal. It's not fully saving him. It also buys time for everything else to cool down. Ghost Scepter's about to be offline, and Padrino's going to be going down here soon, most likely. Echo Slave coming through. Still alive, though. Gets off the Stompo, too. Might be enough to turn it. They bring down the Tidehunters while held the Ravage for days, but couldn't deal with it in the end. And, well, the problem for your lifestealer is doesn't have many solutions for all that physical damage, but the Void does. He drops the Chrono. That will end the Witch Doctor ultimate. That will allow the lifestealer to re-engage. They'll bring down 4, looking for the 5th. Slice and dice, baby. BBC, make it a full 5-man wipe. And I actually got to watch that one, too. Well, as you might expect, a lot of gold going into the pockets of BBC there. There will be a buyback on the Medusa, but I think it's just game at this point. No other buybacks for this team, and really no other options. Void will jump in, and yeah, that's going to be your Medusa in a lot of trouble. Can't even get the ultimate off. 13 seconds to go, and they just chew through her armor, ending her life. And with that, it looks like the Balkan Bears will be taking game 1 of this best of 3. One more win, and they'll move on to face Lions, or Papa Johns, for those of us who don't speak Swedish well. And the winner of that best of 3 qualifies for the main stage of the summit. So we could see this squad, this team of pub stars, become more than that over the course of this tournament. I do very much apologize to anyone who was listening to Dota TV and is now on the stream. There are actually more people in Dota TV than on the stream for this game, and I feel very bad if you're listening, but nothing I could do. The server disconnected me like 10 times, so it's either no cast at all or, yeah. Or disconnecting. Thank you for watching, guys. You're watching The Summit 2 by gtoy.com. I'm LD. We'll hopefully get things sorted out for game number 2. BBC versus mYi continues after this. Stay with us.